What's going on, sports card hobby family?
But unfortunately,
back again, another day, another sports card video. Sadly, no football today, and next weekend is the last day of football for a while. And then we've got that spring league that's going to come out, and of course we've got NFL draft and that sort of thing. So kind of sad. It's a little bit sad this winter. Huge thanks to today's video sponsor, COMC. Are you on the hunt for that next NBA superstar or looking to find some Hall of Fame hockey autographs? Look no further than COMC. Their growing 35 million card inventory is a treasure trove for collectors with a wide range of options to suit every taste and preference. The user-friendly COMC interface allows you to filter and search for cards with ease, ensuring you find exactly what cards you're looking to add to your collection. I've got links in the video description as well as in the pinned comments to start your COMC journey today. All right, friends, today we're going to talk about gold prisms. This is actually something that I've come around to. I haven't always really thought a lot about prism parallels. My mind has kind of changed on this over time, especially with all the Fanatics, Panini stuff going on. And in my opinion, it does look to be, and again, Fanatics could buy the rights to Panini and take all their stuff tomorrow and this could all be thrown out. Maybe Prism continues on. But doesn't it kind of feel like Panini's really kind of sinking in their claws and they're going to try to ride this thing out as long as they can? And maybe they just keep all of their brands, I mean, originally with Pacific, and just keep on going and making trading cards. My hope for Panini is that they go the non-sports entertainment cards route. Just stick to some of the ancillary sports that they've got. Maybe not the major licenses, the major sports, but stick with what they've got. They make good trading cards. They have a good product that's been popular over the last, 10 years, 10 plus years. We've had Flawless, we've had National Treasures. Of course, we have Prism. They have a lot of popular products out there. But it's starting to get watered down now because Fanatics is signing these people over for exclusive autographs and that sort of thing. They're having to fight and scrap to keep it all going. And maybe they go with, unlicensed type stuff or, kind of the way that Leaf has done and had success with. I still think Panini can be a successful company, but they're just going to have to shift gears. But one thing I've said on the channel a lot is I do think as time goes on, keep in mind, we're talking kind of long-term here. As time goes on, I think this 10 years for card collectors is going to be looked back on fondly.
entrepreneur.
And in particular, I think gold prisms are going to be something that is wanted by collectors. I don't want to say in the same fashion as kind of the 90s insert folks. If you look back in time, Skybox came out with the PMGs and the Star Rubies and that sort of stuff. Skybox was owned by Fleer. Neither of these companies are still going. They're not still making trading cards in the same way, and yet people love those 90s inserts, the rarity, scarcity, etc. around those cards, and they fetch huge prices. Well, and you might be thinking, well, gold prisms already do that now. And I understand that. For certain players, the gold prisms, they fetch huge money. You look at the Tom Brady, version of this card, or even, my gosh, like the Patrick Mahomes rookie card in this year, the 2017, is probably a $250,000 card. I got the Alvin Kamara rookie gold prism for $500, but the Patrick Mahomes, it's a mega card. And so I guess what I'm wondering here, this is kind of an ask the audience type video. What are your thoughts on this? I don't think that Panini is going to sell to Fanatics unless Fanatics just comes back in. They battled it out in court and they come in with some huge offer just to kind of get the thing over with. But otherwise, I think Panini's got their hands in other things. They're not going to just give up trading cards. I think they're going to continue on making cards and doing their own thing. I just don't see it happening. And again, I could be completely wrong, but especially in a day and age when you have more and more parallels coming out and that sort of stuff, when you look back on this time, I just think that it adds more emphasis to those gold prisms that are out of 10. And I know we've shown, Alvin Kamara is a superstar running back. We just talked about Tom Brady and Mahomes. We're talking about really the best players, even on the basketball side, LeBron James or whoever we're talking about. But there's a lot of players that are not LeBron James, that are not Tom Brady, that have gold prisms that sell really low. And I kind of wonder, I was actually thinking, because I love the look of the cards and the sets, I love the design. I was almost wondering, will future set collectors be looking at that sort of thing, as something to put together, or just, teams. Not even necessarily the entire, 2017 Prism set, for example, but maybe it's just team sets. Maybe it's just the Cavaliers, or maybe it's just the Broncos. And part of me was thinking like, man, maybe I should just kind of pick those up as I see them pop up, even of random players. If you look back at those 90s PMGs, the football versions, even like the random players that never did anything, never had a career, they're expensive. they're really expensive. And I kind of wonder if there might be, some sort of a play on that long term. And again, I haven't really moved on this yet. This was a thought that I had the other day, and I was just thinking like, you know what? I should throw this out into the universe and get feedback from viewership, because I think it's kind of an interesting take. When you think about, the player is obviously number one being of importance, but then when you look at what are important sets, okay, what are important sets? Exquisite, you've got flawless. But what about the actual cards? There's a lot of focus around inserts like, oh, kabooms. Kabooms are going to be the PMGs of the future. I don't believe that to be the case. A lot of people are on the kaboom train, but to me, I'm more thinking like, but what about the Panini stuff that's probably not going to carry on? What about the licensed Panini stuff, the playing days stuff for a lot of these folks, whether we're talking about football or basketball or maybe some of the other sports? And again, could we see a place where 10, 20, 30 years down the road, you have set collectors or team collectors or just parallel collectors, that just love the gold prism? Maybe the gold prism is a thing. And maybe it's something, maybe it's even deeper. Maybe it's the black finite one-of-ones. Again, you have black finite one-of-ones. They still can be pricey, even for the off player you've never heard of. But it is a one-of-one card. It is an important card, within the Prizm universe. I think gold is kind of like a nice balance where it's a little bit more attainable. It's numbered to 10, and I'm talking about true gold. I'm not talking about gold shimmers or some of the other variances of gold. I'm talking about true gold from each year, from 2012 up through kind of the current Panini products. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'm curious to hear what you all think. And if not gold prisms, what is your prediction as we look at kind of, 20 or 30 years down the road, that next generation? Some might say, hey, nobody's going to be collecting cards. They're going to be doing other things then. Maybe, could be true. But let's assume we still have a lot of card collectors in the space. Do you think gold prisms could be a thing that they're looking back at with nostalgia as something as when you were a youngster, you're like, oh, that's something I could never even touch. And maybe you have fond memories. And of course, those folks have disposable income and all the rest of it. Or if it's something different, let me know that as well. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.